My name is Eric Welander. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about the Logitech Circle View Doorbell after using it for about a month. So when I first got the doorbell, I of course made an impressions video, talked about the installation, some of the specs, and some of my initial thoughts after using it for about 24 hours. Well, now it's been about a month, and so I want to tell you more about what it's like to use the doorbell day to day, and also just clarify a few more little details. So in my initial review, I mentioned that the night vision light can't be turned off. So I missed, there's a setting in the Home app where you can actually turn off the night vision light, and you can also turn off the recording indicator light. I like the doorbell without those lights on, so I've turned both of those off. Now, the color night vision that I loved so much in my initial impressions review and is still great, that still works even if the LED is off, as long as you have enough other ambient light. Like I have a porch light that's nearby that I usually keep on at night, and so that provides enough light to still get the beautiful color night vision in the camera. So it's nice that you can turn that light off and you're not losing the color night vision feature with it. The one other downside here, I guess, is that that light is not exposed to HomeKit as a light, so you can't control when it turns on and off or automate anything based on that. Of course, you still get the light sensor and the motion sensor from the doorbell and some other things with automation we'll talk about in a minute. But again, you either have the LED is always on when it's dark, so Logitech's doorbell will determine when that light comes on and off based on the ambient light around the doorbell, or it's always off and just never turns on. Now, operating temperature. So Logitech rates this at, depending on your transformer, either up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 113 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. So they don't recommend putting this doorbell in a place where you're going to get a lot of direct sunlight, particularly in warmer weather. There's been reports on the internet of people in warmer climates who have this doorbell basically in direct sunlight, even for certain periods of the day, where it can overheat. So that's something to consider if you have a doorbell spot that's more in direct sunlight. Especially if you live in an area where it gets even, I don't know, up into the 80s or 90s during the day, you might have an issue. So be prepared to say, like, install it, but maybe return it if it does start to overheat. As far as the cold weather, which I'm very much in right now, the doorbell's rated down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, where I live, it tends to get much colder than that during the winter, but we haven't had any of that super cold weather, at least yet this winter. So I'll certainly report on Instagram stories or something else as it survives really cold. But -4 degrees Fahrenheit seems like a pretty typical rating for a lot of electronics. And I did a video a couple of years ago, my Philips Hue lights that at the time I had outside in lamps, they survived and worked just fine in -20 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is a good sign, I think, for the doorbell, but again, I haven't been able to test it in that environment. Now, notifications. This is, of course, a central part of why you would get a smart doorbell in the first place, is being able to know who's at the door, who's coming and going from your home. So the Apple Watch doesn't show thumbnails of the notifications, which I find kind of annoying. You still get the text of the doorbell has detected a vehicle or a person or whatever, and it says that there's an attachment, but of course on the Apple Watch it can't display it, at least as of the latest versions of watchOS and iOS at recording this video. That's on Apple to fix. Again, that's not really a Logitech issue, but it is something I wanted to point out compared to my Nest Hello, where that would send me pictures with the notification that I could see on my watch. And while of course your watch is a small screen, it would give me enough idea of, oh, that delivery person is from that company, or oh, that's so-and-so from my family. Now, when you go to the phone, you'll see, of course, the video of the notification like any other HomeKit secure video notification. Now, the doorbell is so good at detecting objects and humans and things far away from the camera that oftentimes a video clip starts with the person or vehicle or whatever far enough away from the camera that they're pretty small within the notification preview. So it's still hard to quickly get an idea of who's actually at the door. I mean, you know, the doorbell's doing its job and you're knowing about it maybe even a little sooner than you might with other competitive products. But again, you know, this idea that you might have in your head before getting out of, oh, I'll perfectly be able to see whatever's at my door, might not be as easy to get to that information as you might think, you know, before you've purchased it. Now, as far as detecting things, I mentioned in my previous video that I was having some issues with a flag in my front yard. I removed that flag and I really haven't had any other false people detection or vehicle detection that I can remember. So I mentioned automation around the light, the motion sensor and light sensor earlier, but one of the other things you can automate is the doorbell press itself. Now, I didn't see this initially in the Home app and I don't think it's really accessible in there, but Shane Watley on his video about this doorbell pointed out that if you use the Eve app, then you're able to see this as a trigger and then you can use it for automations to trigger certain scenes. I haven't really used this myself because I can't think of a good use case of where it would really be useful to me, but I did want to point it out in case it's something you want to play with. You can trigger it based on a single press of the doorbell, a double press of the doorbell, like a double click on a computer, or a long press on the doorbell. Now, if you're wondering what on earth is the Eve app, well, there's a HomeKit accessory manufacturer called Eve, and even if you don't buy any of their products, they have a free app on the App Store you can download, and it allows you to control any of your HomeKit compatible stuff. So it's really great for setting up some more advanced automations and features beyond just, of course, working with Eve's products. So I'd highly recommend checking it out, playing with that app, and of course, in this case, it does unlock some functionality of allowing you to automate based on the doorbell press. So I mentioned that I'm getting rid of my Nest Hello, that this is really my new doorbell, but there's a number of different things that I considered that Nest does have, and I just want to kind of compare those with you guys as I think through this. One is that the Logitech does lack integration beyond HomeKit, so you're not able to use it with some of these beloved always-on screens that I love so much, like the Google Nest Hub or the Echo Show. Those kind of things just don't work because this doorbell only works with HomeKit. Now, HomeKit Secure Video, which of course is what runs the Logitech Circle View, currently lacks package detection. Hopefully that'll come in a future update. That's another thing, though, that the Nest Hello already has. I would say, though, that the Logitech Circle View does have much better video quality, particularly at night. And the Logitech Circle View doorbell also gives you notifications much more quickly, especially when you're at home. So, of course, when you're away from the home, there are many different variables that can influence the speed at which you get notifications. But when you're at home, it's lightning fast in my experience. Also, related to those clips, getting them off of the Home app is much easier than I always just got annoyed with the whole process of getting clips off of my Nest and you know, just going to the video clip, and sometimes it wants you to like save it to your library of clips on Nest and then share it. And I often ended up just finding the mobile app interface for that kind of confusing, so I go to the desktop website to share a clip from my doorbell, and so I do it way less. I find myself, because I'm probably familiar with HomeKit Secure Video already, I find myself using that feature of the doorbell more and more. Now, another thing is the aspect ratio. With the Nest, you get like a kind of a square aspect ratio. With the Logitech, it's just stuck in portrait, which works great on a phone, but might not look as good on other devices. Personally, I'm fine with it because I think the way it's set up, it allows you to see a lot of a person from head to toe as they come up to the door, which is a very practical thing for a doorbell compared to other HomeKit cameras where I might see this as a little more odd. So enough on my decision. What about your decision about what doorbell makes sense for your smart home? Now, if you live in the US or a country where Logitech sells the Circle View doorbell, I would highly recommend checking it out if you're all into HomeKit and you're all about HomeKit and you're able to support HomeKit Secure Video. You have a HomeKit hub in your home. It's a great option. Now that said, I was very impressed with my Nest Hello. So if you're looking for something that integrates more with other smart home platforms, you don't mind paying for a web service to monitor your video like Nest Detect. No, that's not it. It's Nest Aware. And then also, if you don't mind getting something like a Starling Home Hub, which allows you to see the live feed of that video from the doorbell inside of HomeKit, along with any other Nest accessories you have. Now, another one you might want to check out is the Nanatmo doorbell that's just now coming to the US, but it's been in Europe for a little bit. I haven't had a chance to play with it, but it certainly made its rounds in the news as far as being noteworthy for a while now as they've been sort of developing the product. But all these doorbells I just mentioned are wired, and if you've just had the patience to sit through this entire video and you don't actually have a wired slot for your doorbell that'll support one of these other doorbells, I'd recommend checking out Eufy's battery operated doorbells. I've heard great things. I haven't used them myself, but they can be a really nice option to put a video doorbell, either to replace a doorbell that's not wired, or to put a doorbell maybe somewhere where you wouldn't otherwise have one. That's the beauty of a battery operated camera and doorbell. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, that doesn't, at least as of yet, directly integrate with HomeKit, but it still looks to be a great option and has local recording and notifications. So something to consider if you're not able to swing a wired doorbell. And of course, if you just want a Eufy doorbell, they also make wired versions as well. So let me know in the comments below if you're considering this Logitech Circle View. Maybe you've already bought the doorbell. What's holding you back? What issues are you facing? If you found a different doorbell that you're really satisfied with, I think that's always just a really helpful thing for all of us as a community to learn from each other in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.